It was an interesting intro, wasn't it? We'll talk about that later. First of all, the YouTube ritual. Like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now we got rid of all that. And happy moose. I've just made this video, and it was actually quite long. This version is going to be a lot shorter. And I found I hadn't pressed the go button on the Zoom. I just recorded a half an hour video with no audio. Anyway, we'll come back to drones later and things like that. Before I finish it, actually I'll do this. Tonight's tipple is now an almost empty glass of Dark and Darker. It was up there when I started. It's not very nice. I ran out of ginger beer, so we used the black rum and Coke. Coke's a bit flat as well. Yummy. Or not. GoPro's out. I can't actually tell if it's recorded. It better had be. Tell you what. It is now. I've got this little device here, which I don't know if you can see it on the main screen. There you are. It's got a little blue ring around it. You can certainly see it on the GoPro footage. And it's a plasma dome ball or whatever, and you know I can reach up and pluck down the lightning, or reach down and pluck up the lightning in this case. And they're just fascinating, and they're great fun. And I'm now going to reach for my big white board, which was behind us and is now moved. Block out that for a moment and see if you can see. Oh look, yeah, you can see it quite clearly. I'm not touching the end because it really hurts. They light up. They're plasma balls. The big camera see that. A big camera can see it as well. Oh, isn't that pretty? Free energy. No, it's not. Tesla was kind of promoting this sort of thing as free energy, but it isn't. The light. I did this once as a private demo to someone. Touched the pins on the bottom of the lamp cap afterwards and discovered that there was a certain amount of energy in there because it had charged up the capacitors and it really hurt. The energy, of course, isn't free at all. It's coming from the mains. It's going up through there, and that is, I believe, a very high frequency, quite a high voltage, and it capacitively couples quite easily through the glass, causes the phosphors on the tube wherever it's gone. Causes the phosphors on this tube to phos. Also induces a current in the filling gas, which runs back to it and charges up the capacitors. So it still hurts, but it's not free. Don't let anyone kid you that it's free, because it isn't. So that was one little toy that we wanted to play with, because I just like it. And this one's got a dimmer on it as well. It doesn't dim very well. I think it's dirty. It sort of flickers a bit around there, and it goes out if you wobble it too much. But yeah, variable intensity plasma. That was one thing I wanted to show you. And the other thing, which I thought for one moment I'd lost the bits. I can't show you, it's all gone missing. Is this little trick here. LEDs. We're surrounded by LEDs these days. I'm being naughty. I'm being lit by tungsten halogen. Because I prefer it, and I think it produces a far better colour when it comes to this stuff. I'm trying to work out how to best put my voltmeter. This little packet of LEDs, as you know, I've got about 2,500 of these things dotted around the place. Kept buying them when they were cheap. They still are cheap, so I still keep on buying them. I can't find the one there's the one I used earlier. We're used to them emitting light. They also absorb light. That's the anode. I've got two black test leads on the meter because they were the only ones I could find with crocodile clips on the end. I don't know when my red crocodile clip one was gone. So we have to make sure. It doesn't really matter if I get it the wrong way round. It's not going to hurt the meter. It's not going to hurt the diode. Wire everywhere. And if we turn the meter on, you can't see it. I've got to rearrange the light as well. And we are recording on the GoPro. GoPro on. GoPro can see. Right. The LED is now connected across. I wonder it's not working. 2 volt. The LED is connected across that and says that it's out of range. Oh, there we go. It's now decided to sort itself out. It's doing weird things. I don't know where it's getting 5-6 millivolts from. But the LED is connected across it. And if I bring that into the light, you'll see it goes up. And if I get my super duper torch bought specially for the process, it wasn't. And shine that at it. I can shine it at it. There you go. Oh, that must be at low power. Oh, that's flashy power. That must be high power. There you go. It's nearly 1.5 volt. Quite close. It's quite intense as well, this one. That's coming from an LED. I'll prove it's an LED because I'll not disconnect it. I'll turn that off for a moment. Set that to LED test. Put my great hairy arm in the way of the camera. Stay there. And that into there. And see absolutely nothing. That's a bit worrying. It's on diode test. It worked earlier, honest it did. Maybe I have actually finally killed an LED. Maybe I just got it connected the wrong way around. That's going up to the cathode. This meter is actually getting a bit old and tired and not always doing what it wants, what I want. Let's short out the pins with something. Screwdriver will do. It's because I've moved the common. It is entirely pilot error as usual. There we go. And there's the LED glowing. Can the big camera see that? Just about. There's a little red light. Eee, look, it's... What was the fairy called in Peter Pan? Tinkerbell. There's Tinkerbell, look. Whee! That's genuine LED producing electricity. Your challenge, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to think of a use for the electricity generating bits of an LED, phenomenon of an LED. I suspect if you try and put another, well, if you put another LED across it, it ain't gonna light. I suspect you could use it for, signalling, not visually. I'm going to move the big light back round. The big light is tiny. There we are, almost back in full glory. There we are. I'm also going to move the GoPro. I'm going to clamp the GoPro to the microphone stand that isn't being used. Got a microphone on it, but just not being used for this. And point the GoPro at me, so we've got a different angle possibly later if I want it. Hello, GoPro. Shall we just talk about the droney bit? Because actually I was thinking of putting LEDs on drones. There's another reason I want a cheap one. You don't know the first reason, because that was in the last video that I didn't record the sound on. I did talk about YouTube and how YouTube's funded and how partners make their money and how I guess 99.9% of YouTube partners make very little. Amongst my friends who are YouTube partners, very few actually. I'm considered successful, and I don't make £100 a year. So when you look at the figures and you see PewDiePie and all that lot who are earning millions a year, bit I missed out in the last video. When you do that, look closely, because you'll find different sites give different figures. And I looked at one whose name I've forgotten. It could have been one of several. And his net worth, courtesy of YouTube, was given as between one site, the lowest site said $30,000. $38,000 he made out of YouTube. Another site, using the same criteria, had come to the conclusion that he was actually worth $6 million plus. It's a big discrepancy. I don't know what happens if you look at me. Actually, I don't make enough. I don't have enough subscribers to get on these lists, which, if I had more subscribers, I'd have more income, but I'd also have more fame, and I'm not sure I want my suspected wealth published by a number of different sites, unless of course they want to publish the truth, and the truth is that I am worth £14 million, or $14 million will do, in which case, yeah, you know, provide us with the money and you can publish it. Drone, I was thinking I'd like to customize a drone. Now, so far the only drones I've flown, when they were new, they were, you know, the bee's knees. They were the top of the range. Do bees have knees? Do knees have bees? My knee did once. Malta series, maybe I might mention that. My knee having a bee. They were top of the range. I mean, you know, they didn't come any better. They really were the drone to be seen with. A bit like learning to drive in a Rolls Royce. It's a bit scary actually. But a cheap drone, which we can adorn with these, and it's, as I say, it's not like I'm short of them. We've got quite a lot of these. We've got the wherewithal to make them flash and do strange things. We've even got sounders, so we can make drones make funny noises. You need quieter ones. The ones I've flown aren't that quiet. Needs to be funded. That's where we went with the other one. I'm going to do a separate video on that. There's something nagging me in the back of my mind that, oh, well, I was going to do on this video and I've forgotten what it was. It's not coming into fireworks season, is it? No. What a shame. We're not getting any feedback, partly because we're not on a live stream. I'm going to do these. I'm going to try and do one of these every week, so it comes out, yeah, either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, depending on how lucky or unlucky, depending on which direction you're coming from. And we're going to keep doing this until we get the technology to work. We've got camera problems now. To do a real live stream, a live stream, as opposed to a non-live live stream. That'll catch me out. We want lots of viewers, and we want lots of people to participate. We want lots of people to try and catch me out. See how long before I tell them to go away. The other thing that was coming out of partly out of that, partly out of how to YouTubers survive. We don't, and all that was, what can we not look at having fun cheaply, and look at cheap model aircraft. I mean, FX kit now costs an arm and a leg, so I haven't done an FX kit since I was about, you know, down there somewhere high. That'll be fun. 45 quid. Nah. Seriously, nah. Not that. No, you're not going there. we can experiment with the alcohol. I've got plenty of alcohol here that really should have been drunk 30 odd years ago. Actually, I've got a bottle of wine somewhere from my 18th birthday. That is either now corrosive or nectar. It'll be one or the other, won't it? It's unopened. It was unopened. Was it my 18th? No, it wasn't my 18th. It was my 20th. And that's part of theatre time. I'm not doing an episode of theatre time on that. I'm not putting the green screen up for a start. I was given that by Ray Allen in front of a full theatre. Middle of his act, he stopped and I got called out. Everyone's out on piers on stage. He's really nice to see. I come out, t-shirt with dirt and muck all over it and all over my hands. I was flyman at the time. It was a hemp house, so we were actually big, heavy, thick ropes heaving rather than all this press button stuff they do now. So it's looking a wreck. He's got made out stuff, blah 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 blah. It's his birthday today. Clump, one bottle of wine. How am I supposed to get this home on a motorcycle? I found a way. I was trying to think which bike I had then. Yeah, I had the 250 then. That was quite fun actually. I've got no idea why I told you that. The other advantage with real live streams is, you, the riff-raff out there in the cheap suits, you tend to keep us on track. What was I say about Patreon? The way people spend Patreon money and how I would like to. We'll talk about Patreon later. I've had enough now because I've got to edit this. I've actually got 2 cameras on the go. Hi GoPro. So that's it, really. I was having gone from bad, not recording the soundtrack. I've now just made it a lot worse by having 2 cameras on the go. So it's going to take 3 times longer to glue together. Once we sort it all out, we will go live. I doubt if it will be with 2 cameras, although that would be nice. If you've survived this long, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Oh, and hit that notification bell. And why don't you actually comment and give us suggestions for the next one? That would be nice. No, I'm not going to spend half an hour talking about bells. Well, I might, but you want pictures. Planes are going to come up. Part of the Malta series. Everything, the Malta influence, everything to do with what I'm interested in now is rooted in Malta. So, yeah, aviation will be coming up when I found enough photos. In the meantime, stay safe, drive carefully, dear, and we'll see you all again soon.